I'm going to go back and turn. I'm going to go back to the nav mesh settings now and talk a little bit about the floor plan and how to do things. Like, so one of the couple of big questions, the big ones we get all the time, and I don't know if you're monitoring any questions coming in, if anybody's
I'm watching chat,
this, but often people say, I can't get close enough to my wall, or I'm getting too close to the wall and I want to not be able to because I'm clipping through it. That is a setting that is called agent. Now, whenever you see the word agent in here, that refers to like avatars, the agents.
Yeah, and we're using the terms basically directly from the underlying library we're using, which is called Recast, that's used to generate the nav meshes. So we just kept their terminology because if you want to actually go deep and look into this stuff, you probably should look at the documentation for Recast and like kind of go into that stuff. And so we kind of just kept those terms the same so that it'll be easier to look that stuff up.
Yeah, you don't have to be like, oh, like wall closeness means
right. Yeah,
agent
yeah, exactly.
rated. Yeah, we didn't want to do that. So in order to make things closer to the wall, your agent radius, you can think of it as like how wide is my avatar. It needs to be smaller. So I set it to, I think 0.2 is our default. We determined that was like 0.2 meters is the radius that we use as a default, but I'm going to change it to say 0.1 or maybe 0.05 or something, and we'll see a difference when I hit regenerate. Watch the edge of this floor and around the fountain here. Should get closer. Yeah, so it got pretty close. In fact, it's doing
now
something.
You see it kind of clipping. Oh,
Yeah,
actually, never mind.
It's
It's raised up there.
It's just this ugly artifact from the ramp. So,
I mean, I think it might actually be those little ledges, those little the moldings, maybe causing it to do that. Because if that happens to fall inside of a voxel, it's going to be like, okay, well, that's raised up there, and so.
Yeah, we could try 0.1 and just see. Boy, that's virtually the same.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of this will just come down to a little bit of trial and error and kind of artistic intent. Like, what do you want? Where do you want people to be able to walk? Generally, the defaults like work pretty well for the size environments and avatars we have. But if you have a particularly narrow doorway or something like that, the agent radius plus other settings might make it such that you can't fit through that doorway anymore.
Yeah, by the way, if you totally screw these up and you're like, oh my god, I don't even know what the original settings are, worst case scenario, just delete the floor plan and add a new one, and it'll
go back to default.